Famous ENFPs are like Hunter S. Thompson, Twain, Wilde, Huxley, Julian Assange. What's her name?
Yeah, Guevara.
Yeah.
Guevara.
One of my favorite quotes.
Che Guevara. Gaddafi. Gaddafi.
And this is, okay, it's separated into two things. So, famous, normal people.
ENFP is what's in short?
Okay.
ENFP is... Famous.
So you've got extroverted, abstract, explorer, thinker.
Extroverted, abstract, explorer, thinker. Yeah. Okay.
So Socrates. Introverted, abstract, explorer, thinker. Albert Einstein. Okay? There's 16 main types in every single human.
Yeah.
Out of these 16 main types, there's a million infinite possibilities.
Website. Yeah. celebritytypes.com.
Yeah.
Philosophy.
Yeah. So...
Philosophers.
Yeah, these are the main ones. Like, these are the main types, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do yours. But I'll just quickly go into mine a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Your type, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Please.
So, my you have 4 main functions. Okay. Out of these 4 main functions, this is just the world for what it is. Okay. My main function is intuition, and it's my strongest function.
Oh.
And it's on the outer world, so it's an extrovert. That's why I'm an extrovert. That's why I talk a lot. My next function is my feeling function. I feel emotions a lot. Okay, so when someone falls over, I feel their pain. Okay, when someone is happy, I feel their pain. But that feeling is internal. I keep it to myself. I don't express it. Only a little bit. I express it. And then thinking. I think out loud and I talk out loud. So that's why I can think and talk at the same time. And it comes from the outside world. So I get all my thinking from the outside world. And then my sensing is my introverted function. And it's repressed. Usually in the average human being, it comes out around 30 years of age if you're a male. Okay? And that's the 4th function.
Okay.
So, quirky and variably fluid persons, strongly linked to historic personalities, somewhat linked to narcissistic, homopathic and borderline personalities, more common in women than men, represses their introverted sensation functions, meaning sometimes they express flighty or inconsistent cognitive states and neglect to reflect in their past. Okay? And then it goes into the Freudian side here.
Yeah.
This is the divide. Total population 7%, 6% of males, and 8% of females. 8%. This is a demographic of the...
Okay.
Yeah? Let's do yours.
Done your type.
Yeah. This is powered by Google, and you have to donate if you want.
Very interesting.
Okay. In what kind of workplace do you thrive? Do you thrive in a fast-paced environment where I don't get bored? Or are you in an unhurried work environment where you can concentrate?
Yes, I prefer unhurried environment.
You like the fast one?
No.
Unhurried.
Yes.
Unhurried.
Used to be I in the former, but now I'm moving to the taking care of the present. Okay. And next question.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am more concerned with envisioning the future, that which could be, or taking care of the present, that which is.
Okay. Taking care of the present, that which is, because now.
Yeah.
The world would be a better place if more people used their head, had their heart in the right place.
Oh, yeah, had their heart in the right place.
Which is more true of you? I am laid back and live to improvise. I like to be on top of things.
I like to be on top of things, yes.
When meeting new people, I easily think of things to say to get the conversation flowing. I like to size them up before I initiate a conversation.
Former.
The first one?
Yeah, first.
Which statement describes you better? I am down to earth, have more common sense, I am imaginative, and have my head in the clouds.
This question is a little bit difficult. Which statement describes you better? Maybe latter, kana? I am imaginative and have my head in the clouds, yes.
Whose genius would you rather, Shakespeare's or Einstein's?
Very interesting question.
Yeah. They're all very interesting questions.
Very interesting. Maybe Einstein, kana?
I'm Shakespeare.
Yeah. Are you Shakespeare?
When looking ahead to something in the future, you feel better if you have settled on a viable course of action. Get to keep your options open.
Get to keep my options open. Yeah.
Which is more true of you? I come across as reserved and hard to get to know. Others start to open up more when I'm around.
More true of you, ka. Maybe others start to open up more than what I'm allowed.
My awareness is naturally focused on reality as it unfolds around me, and partial abstractions do not particularly interest me. Thoughts removed from time and place, the here and now, does not particularly interest me.
No, maybe latter.
Latter?
Yes.
In resolving conflict, which approach do you more often find yourself taking? A principled approach based on justice and logic, or a kind-hearted approach based on personal understanding and good faith?
Maybe former.
When cooking a new dish, do you prefer to closely follow a recipe or make it up as you go?
Make it up as I go.
Which statement is true of your interactions with people?
Yeah.
Although I enjoy seeing friends one-on-one, I find it more stimulating to hang out with several people at once, the more the merrier. Although I enjoy the liveliness of a group setting, I tend to seek out one-on-one conversations and often up in one even with a group.
Latter. Yeah.
Which is more true of you? I prefer communicating at face value, and I understand, and I don't tend to assume something that wasn't said. I read between the lines, and I feel I know where the people are going before they finish speaking.
Former.
Which statements do you agree with the most? Feelings are irrational and have no place in truth-seeking. Logical analysis is a valuable tool, but sometimes people seem sadly oblivious to its limitations.
Yes, latter.
I am more product-orientated. I focus on what needs to be done and impose the necessary structure to get it done. Process-orientated. I resist structure I see as suffocating, e.g. by not allowing for new information.
Former. Yes, I'm object-oriented. Okay.
In a meeting, which is more true of you? I like to collect my thoughts and know which point I am going to make before I start speaking. I can talk and think at the same time. In fact, talking helps me to think.
Latter.
I enjoy a party more if I find myself engaged in intellectual, stimulating conversation with someone who gets what I'm saying. We are letting loose and having fun, maybe dancing or playing a game.
Former.
When others communicate, I often get distracted when they demonstrate disregard for others' feelings or unaware of their own feelings, make errors in logic or fact.
This question is a little bit difficult. When others communicate, more often get distracted. Make errors of logic. Maybe latter.
Latter. Which is more true of you? I make explicit and detailed arguments about who will do what when, and I expect people to stick to them. I prefer to let developments arise and then react spontaneously, and I expect others to be as equally adaptable.
Latter.
After a dinner party, others would be more likely to complain that I talk too much and dominate the conversation, didn't talk enough, and let it to others to keep the conversation going.
Latter.
In school, which kind of teacher frustrated you more? Vague teacher who expected students to magically infer what to do and the criteria for success? Teachers who were not sufficiently expansive and who stifled creativity.
Latter.
A friend is distressed by a conflict of which you think she is partially responsible without seeming to acknowledge it. Do you find yourself so sympathetic to her distress that you may find yourself glossing over what she has done wrong? Have to bite your tongue to withhold your criticism until after she is done venting her feelings.
Difficult question かな、これは。Maybe former.
As a leader, are you more likely to be evaluated as wishy-washy and ineffective, or bossy and inflexible?
As a leader でしょ?
As a leader.
So the former.
Former? Wishy-washy?
Yeah.
Which more often happens to you? Someone asks me a question and doesn't give me enough time to think of an answer before they resume talking. I ask someone a question and get impatient when they don't answer right away.
Happened to me, someone asked me a question. Okay, getting impatient. Maybe former.
What goes through your mind when you hear other people brainstorming new ideas? I first and foremost am stimulated by what originality they bring to the table, and I feel inspired to contribute an idea of my own. Sometimes I forget to take important facts into account until someone else brings them up. I first and foremost want to address the obvious practical problems associated with each idea. Of course I welcome quality innovation, but I get impatient when starry-eyed dreamers which in fact contribute little or real value. Latter. I am more often dismayed because someone is being cold and offensive or illogical and emotional.
Latter.
I am more often feel the urge to roll my eyes when others don't have their act together or are inflexible and lack spontaneity.
Latter. Yeah.
You are INTP. INTP. There you are, which is Einstein.
Me?
You're Einstein.
Einstein's way.
Yeah. So other famous people: Charles Darwin, Leonardo da Vinci, Dawkins.
I like Charles Darwin.
You like Charles Darwin?
Yeah.
A scientific man ought to have no wishes, no affection, a mere heart of stone. INTP. So, INTP, Minister of armaments in the Nazi Germany.
Green spam もそうなんです。
Yeah. There are things of which one is guilty even if one might offer excess, simply because the scale of crime is so overwhelming that the comparison any human excuse pales to insignificance. They knew they were bad.
Yeah.
They knew they were bad. So, let's go to your function. You have, your main function is an introverted, inner world, thinking function. Your next function is an extroverted intuition. And then you have a introverted sensing function, followed by an extroverted feeling function. So
the thinking is more comes first.
So you're an abstracted-minded systems analyst. What are you reading at the moment? Modeling? Is your book about modeling?
Yes. Yes, abstract-minded.
Among the types with the highest IQ, you're a doctor. Strongly linked with psychopath. What's that? Is a personal disorder characterized by the social isolations, anxiety in social situations, odd behavior and thinking? That's you.
Oh. Thank you.
Left-handed. I forgot.
Left-handed, yeah.
But what this site has told me, because I do this a lot with a lot of guests, like people I find interesting, I sit down and talk to them a lot. And out of these 16 types, I've met probably half of these people quite well. And we talk about, more common among men than among women, represses their extroverted feeling function, meaning that they may irrationally submit to certain conversations in a suspense of their unusual critical analysts. Total, 2.5% of the population, 4% male, 1% female. Very small number of the population. So,
I found your jacket in the trailer. I put it in the entrance of the
Yeah, this side is very interesting.
this is where it gets very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so your intuition, right? An extroverted intuition is this guy. An introverted intuition is that. Do you see the difference? Extroverted intuition, introverted intuition. Thinking. So we can play word games as well. Springy, dodgy, including, excluding, ever inquisitive, inquisitive then satisfied. Okay? So I'm this. I'm extroverted. I'm springy, inclusive, charismatic, ever inquisitive. Your intuition is the same. You have a... Your intuition's the same. So we are the same on this.
Oh.
Yeah? Okay. And then thinking. Thinking, you have a introverted thinking. I have an extroverted thinking. Your thinking is your dominant function. My intuition is my dominant function.
Intuition is yours.
Yeah. Thinking, nonsensical, ballabord, marshalling, analytical, organizing, piercing. Okay, there's the difference. Thinking, extroverted thinking, introverted thinking. You're introverted thinking. I'm extroverted thinking. Sensing. I have an introverted sense function. Promoting, retaining. Impartial, temporal. Direct, indirect. Photographic, impressionist.
So you have a introverted sense function. You have this introverted sense function. I have this extroverted sense function.
Okay.
Yeah. So your sensing is this. My sensing is this.
Oh.
Awareness, recall. Feelings. Mine is an introverted feeling. Yours is an extroverted feeling.
Oh.
Smothering. Championing. Appropriate. Sinkia. World then ego. Ego then world. Norms, ideals. So this is me.
Okay.
No. This is you. This is me.